She said she needed a break, a little time to think. But then she went to Cleveland with some guy named Leland that she met at the bank. There's nothing wrong with Ohio, except the snow and the rain. I really like Drew Carey, and I'd love to see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So when you're done doing whatever, and when you're through doing whoever, you know Denton County will be right here waiting for you. Come back to Texas. It's just not the same since you went away before you lose your accent and forget all about the Lone Star State. There's a seat for you at the rodeo, and I've got every slow dance safe. Besides the Mexican food sucks north of here anyway. I think I made a mistake. It's not that easy to take. She went to make a deposit and she cleaned out her closet. Guess I'll sit here and wait for her to come back home. It shouldn't take very long. I bet she misses the sunrise and misses grapefruit, but I could be wrong. So when you're done doing whatever, and when you're through doing whoever, you know Denton County will be right here waiting for you. Come back to Texas. It's just not the same since you went away. I bet you missed your accent and drove right on through the Lone Star State. There's a seat for you at the rodeo, and I've got every slow dance safe. Besides the Mexican food sucks north of here anyway. Troy Aikman wants you back. Willie Nelson wants you back. NASA wants you back. And the Bush twins want you back. Pantera wants you back. And Bluebell wants you back. I got a premonition and I'm taking a petition, and the whole state's gonna sign. Come back to Texas. It's just not the same since you went away before you lose your accent and forget all about the Lone Star State. There's a seat for you at the rodeo, and I've got every slow dance saved. Come back to Texas. It's just not the same since you went away before you lose your accent and forget all about the Lone Star State. There's a seat for you at the rodeo, and I've got every slow dance safe. Besides the Mexican food sucks north of here anyway. Besides the Mexican food sucks north of here anyway. Besides the Mexican food sucks north of here anyway. Yeah. That was Ohio, Come Back to Texas, by Bowling for Soup. And I played that straight from the charts of the Morristown Uke Jam. So take the link in the video description, download the free ukulele song sheet, grab your own ukulele, and you can play right along with this video. And if you'll be anywhere near Morristown, New Jersey, come out and play with us. Now in just a moment, I'll do a basic tutorial covering everything I just played. And at the very end, I'll do a slow motion close-up play along that you might find helpful. But right now, if you like the video, please like the video with a thumbs up. If you want lots more, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you want hundreds more free ukulele song sheets, each with a link to its own free video tutorial and play along, then check out our Dropbox and then come play with us. Okay, there are basically just two kinds of things that I did. Oh no, I guess there are three different things that I did here. The first is the plucking. Okay, and there's 3 variations of the plucking. I started out, I wanted it to be really subtle, really basic and simple. So I only plucked 2 strings. Now normally when I do an arpeggio, I'll use my thumb on the top string. But this time, I found that to be slower, harder. This, I just keep my fingers stiff. I use these 2 fingers, and I only used the strings farthest from the floor. These are the lowest strings on mine because I have a low G, right? My dog has fleas. If you have a high G, my dog has fleas, then you might want to instead do the middle 2 strings, because those will be your low strings, right? You could do that instead. But so with me, with the low G, I'm doing just the low 2 strings here. Then when I go to verse 3, I'm picking just 3 low strings. And then when I finally get to the Troy Aikman bridge, I'm plucking all 4 strings. And that's all I'm doing. Pluck, 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 as fast as you can, pretty much. So that's the first variation, right? 3 different subsets of the first variation. 2 strings, 3 strings, 4 strings. And yeah, I do 2 with these 2 fingers, 3 with these 3 fingers, and 4 including my thumb, all 4. That's the way I was doing them. You can do it however you like. Second thing is the full-on strum. The full-on strum, I'm just going to have an A here. There's no pauses. There's no pauses at all. The downs are a little bit stronger than the ups. So it's here, 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 here. It's also even. It's not bouncy. It's not... Now you notice, most of the song is that way. The plucking or the strumming is very even until you get to what I call the bouncy crowd chorus. Because it's for a bouncy crowd. The almost final chorus. Come back to Texas. Suddenly you're riding a horse. Now I've got a bounce, I've got pauses, I've got everything. So here's how I played that. I called it a bouncy country strum. Come back to down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, down. That's it. That's it. Those are the only right-hand parts, except the stops. And I mention that only because you'll add a lot more drama if you actually do the stops properly. In other words, sorry. Doing whatever when you're through. Doing whatever, you know that you got to. We'll be right here waiting for you. Come back to Texas. Now, if you don't do the stop, it'll hang there, and that works too. But if you stop, like actually stop it, you can stop it with your hand. You can stop it with either hand. Actually, you can use either hand, but stop the strings from making any sound. It'll be more dramatic. And that'll lead into half a line that's actually a cappella, right? It doesn't have a chord still hanging there. It's come back to Texas. And then you start going again. Okay, that's it. Now, as far as the chord transitions, we've got the A. I'm going to form the A in the simplest way, using my 2 strongest fingers. And then I'm going to drop the D. There, I already have my middle finger in the right place. So I'm just going to drop 2 more fingers. And I've got that D, right? Now, unfortunately, that means I need to change everything and slide up to a B minor. So if you have a hard time getting from the D to the B minor, what you can do instead is go from the A to this D, because you might find it faster to drop your index finger and do that, right? From the D to the B minor. So if you're having trouble, that's something to consider. But so either way, you end up getting it to a B minor, and then you have to go to an E. And again, that's I expect the hardest chord in the song, the E. So Then she went to Cleveland with some guy named Leland that she met at the bank. So from the B minor, you have to pick them all up and drop the E. I don't have any suggestions, sorry. But then that she met in the bank, your middle finger is at least on the right string. It's just going to slide down 2 frets. And that's it. And then the second verse is exactly the same. Now, I wasn't doing the plucking. It should have been plucking. But you get it. The verse 1, verse 2 is exactly the same left hand. And then you're going back and forth. You're on an A, and I would suggest this D, because then you go from the A to, so when you're done doing whatever, when you're through doing whoever. And now you leave those 2 down, just drop 1 more finger for that F sharp minor. You know Denton County will be. And now your middle finger is the one that's on the right string at least. It's going to slide up 2 more, and you're going to drop the rest of your fingers around it. Right here waiting for you. Now from the E, slide just back down. These 3 fingers are already in the right shape, so just slide right back to that D. Ooh. That's it. Come back to Texas, back to the D. It's just not the same since you went away. And again, from the A, at least you've got your middle finger on the right string. You're just sliding back up. You can even drop the D and slide it back up if you want. Before you lose your accent, slide it back down and forget all about the Lone Star State. And now when you slide down, again, your middle finger is the one that's staying from the A to the E, back to the D, right? An E, and now it's going to slide down to an F sharp minor, but this middle finger is just staying on that string and sliding up and down. There's a seat for you at the rodeo, and I've got every slow dance saved. I still haven't picked that up. It's not till the B minor that I actually have to pick it up. Besides, the Mexican food sucks, look of it anyway. Now the only remaining chords are the bridge. The bridge is a little bit different. So the Troy Aikman bridge. Here we go. Troy Aikman, want you back. I'm already on a D from the end of the verse, and then an A. Okay, and now the way I do it, I'm using a superscripted D and A. That's a second position D and A, because I wanted to hear this. I wanted to hear that A string higher. So I wanted to go from here. But if you're a beginner or you just don't want to work that hard, you can ignore the superscripted numbers on any of my chords. It always means I'm playing a higher version of the same chord. It's the same chord. It's still a D and an A. If you want to just play an open, normal D or A, you can do that. But the way I did it, so I had the E. Troy Aikman wants you back. Willie Nelson wants you back. And then I'm going to drop my my index finger to bar that. NASA wants you back. You got my pinky on the A string there. And the Bush twins want you back. So I'm going to form the A, but I've got my pinky stuck here on the 4th fret still. Slides down 1 fret. Pantera wants you back, and Bluebell wants you back. And that's it. Got a premonition, taking a petition, the whole state's gonna sign. So again, my middle finger is the anchor. It's already in place. F sharp minor, it's in place. A, it's in place. D, it's in place. Slide up 2 frets. There we go. The only thing I didn't say is the little A riff at the very, very end. Last line. Because besides the Mexican food sex, nothing here anyway. I wanted to hear this. That's it. If you play a low G, it's kind of nice to hear that. So here's how I did it. So back to the D and then the A. Right? But I didn't actually pluck anything. All I did was drop my ring finger on the 4th fret of the 4th string, and that was it. That's all I did. Okay, now I'm going to play slow motion from the first 2 verses through the first chorus, and I think that's enough. The rest of this is repetitive enough. I don't think you need any more than that. But I'm going to do that close up on my left hand so that you can see exactly how I'm making every transition, every chord transition. Now here goes. 5, 6, 7, 8, and she said she needed a break. A little time to think. But then she went to Cleveland with some guy named Leland that she met at the bank. There's nothing wrong with Ohio, except the snow and the rain. I really like Drew Carey, and I'd love to see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So when you're done doing whatever, and when you're through doing whoever, you know Denton County will be right here waiting for you. Come back to Texas. It's just not the same since you went away. Before you lose your accent and forget all about a Lone Star stage, there's a seat for you at the rodeo, and I've got every slow dance saved, besides the Mexican food trucks north of here anyway. I think I made a mistake. That's it. See you Wednesday. Bye.